All right, boys, I can't take it anymore. The guilt is getting to me. Yes, I pay these girls Mo, my beloved editor. Since the beginning of the video, I want all the beautiful girls showing on the screen right here. And you guys have to use your freaking heads. Why would a girl as beautiful as the women that you're seeing on screen right there be with a very normal looking average guy like me when they can date a 6'5" Giga Chad? Obviously, there's some money on the table. Obviously, I'm paying these girls, but not in the way that you think. It's not directly transactional. I'm not saying, hey, will you come over and have sex with me and I will give you money? No, it's not like that at all. I'm going to teach you about big baller game, okay? Big baller game is going to change your life. Let me go ahead and define it right now. Big baller game at its core is not using money or resources, whatever, paying women as an attraction technique. It's using it as an anti-flaking technique. I'll say that again. Big baller game, which is what I'm teaching you. The correct way to use your net worth, use your money to save headaches, get more dates with women, get in romantic relationships, find a wife and girlfriend, is not about leading with money and using money to actually build attraction with women. Big baller game is an anti-flaking technique. So with women that you've already matched with on a dating app or women that you've already been flirting with on Instagram, if they're kind of like, like when a fisherman, goes, fishing, he uses his big net, but there's always a fish. There's always the slippery fish, the little wiggle worm who slips out the net. Big baller game is how you take these girls. They're already showing interest. They're already flirting. They're already investing in you. Maybe they've even done a video call with you, but you just can't quite get them out. So Mo, put Mariana on the screen right here. I did this vlog with Mariana. We went to the pool and I talked about this. I was very open with it. I bought Mariana a bikini. She actually wasn't even being that flaky. I kind of just did it as like a, to prove a point, because a lot of the clients that I have are like older and not super handsome. What I do is I build guys an automated system for dating, like busy entrepreneurs that are already outsourcing and delegating all aspects of their business. They can now do that with dating. If you want information on that, check out the description of the video. Outsource your whole dating life to virtual assistants. Literally get warm leads fed to you while you're sleeping. But back to Mariana, I bought her a bikini. Now, as I said in that video, if you think you're gonna go to anywhere, that was in Brazil, but doesn't matter, fucking Burundi, Africa. If you think you can, like now, some mid chick, whatever, in Burundi, that's a pretty extreme example, but like any girl that's like a 7 or above in like the Western hemisphere, you can go up to, let's just use what's a random country, Costa Rica. If you can go up to a fucking really pretty, 20-year-old girl in Costa Rica and tell her, hey, will you have sex with me if I buy you a $40 bikini? You're in for a rude awakening. So long story short, I offered to buy her bikini, took her to my pool. Good things happened in the pool. Then I took her to sushi, then I took her back to my apartment, and even more good things happened in my apartment. So that was just one example. Now, I don't do this with the majority of women, okay? Actually, what I do with women is I have this thing called the text messages database. If you're in my program, I build guys the whole system, right? We talked about earlier. It's a copy and paste set of messages, and one of the good messages says something to the effect of this. You ask the girl, hey, what are you looking for? Well, you might start with like, nice to meet you. What do you do? What's your job? Then you might say, what's your type? What type of guys you usually like? And then I usually like to lead into what are you looking for? Like romantically, like what are you looking for in this current state? And then I always tell them I'm looking for something long-term, because I am. It's not just, it's not just mouthpiece. It's not just gang. But I say something to the effect of, I don't have this like written. I have like some, generic notes, but it's something to the effect of, listen, I just want a woman that's going to give me peace. I don't want headaches. I'm from a country where the women are very masculine. I want a woman who likes to wear pink, put on makeup. She's adorable and feminine. That's all I really want. With me, money's not a problem. I could support you. I make enough money for both of us. I just want someone who's going to, respect me, look up to me as the leader, et cetera, et cetera. And I want a traditional, relationship like that. And they usually have an orgasm on the spot. I told this to one girl, and maybe I'll look for like a photo. It'll be in Spanish. Actually, we won't even put it on the editing. But long story short, she just bursted out the seats of her car. She had to get her car detailed because so many fluids came out of her. She was like, oh my God, you're like a prince from a fairy tale. This can't be real. Men are such sissies these days. And, finally a guy who just, he's comfortable in his role of being the provider, doesn't want to split the bill with me, et cetera, et cetera. So that could be a form of big baller game, not even actually directly using money, but just telling them like, hey, money is on the table. Other ways. So let's go like concrete. Because you know me, I'm not about like woo-woo theory. Off the top, I don't even have anything written. Do I have anything written? Okay, I do have some things written down here actually. Big baller game, actual real examples. Well, starting back to the Mariana example, I bought the girl a bikini. okay? It is what it is. That's totally fine, okay? But I'm going to talk about how to do this the wrong way. You don't want to match with a girl and say, "Oh, I'll borrow you a bikini, please." It's not like that. We'll get into like how to go about this, but first, let's do some real world examples of this, okay? Paying her Uber, that's obvious. Trying to, or expressing that you want to take her to a really, really nice restaurant is super, super key. Offering to say like, "Hey, if we're going to go on a date, I don't know what, women go through and stuff, like all the things you got to do to get ready. What if you get your hair done, or if you want to get your nails done, or you want to get, some shoes or something like that, or a new dress, it's on me, okay? Now, if you guys come out straight the gate like that, you will be eaten alive. Oh, and by the way, if you're 6'5" and you look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club and you can get girls out without having to use your net worth as like a big advantage, don't even, just turn off the video and don't even. But this is for guys that like, you get some attraction, you get some interest in beautiful girls, but like I said, the slippery fish is wiggling through the net. We're not using money to build attraction. We're just taking the girls that we're already flirting with, we're already matching us, we follow them on Instagram, they already follow back, but rather than, them ghosting us, because again, at the end of the day, they're just looking for a rich guy who will take care of them. So offer to buy them a bikini, offer to take them to the nicest restaurant, offer to send them, some money for getting their nails done, getting their hair done. What I do is, if I can get a girl out without offering her like anything at all, and that's what 85% of the women that you see me with, that's how it goes. But like, for example, something I've been doing recently, I do a lot of interviews with Brazilian girls. She'll like overlay like a interview with any girl, doesn't matter. And I interview these girls and I'll tell them, "Hey, listen, I have this YouTube channel. I would like to, interview you, but I know, your time is valuable. I can pay you like, $50. I want to do like a half hour or hour long interview, something like that." And then they come over, we do the interview. And then about 70% of them, I just have a little glass of wine with them right after the interview and end up smashing them right there in my apartment. The other 30%, I take them out to dinner and then bring them back and smash them. I think maybe there was like one girl in history where like she just wanted the money to do the interview. And then like we kissed a little bit, but she wasn't into like fully, hooking up. And then we just like never really, talked after that. Okay. But that's the rarity. And again, oh my God, how many times can I say this? You're not leading with money. You're not simping. You don't match with a girl and right off the bat tell her, "I want to spend money on you." So let's talk about the right way to do this. So you've already matched with her on the dating app, or don't use dating apps at all. If you're in my program, you already know this. We use Instagram because it's way better. You don't have to match with the girls first. Message whoever you want. They're more beautiful, better personalities, and less flaky. But let's say that you're talking to a girl that you already like, and she's already likes you. But let me rewind actually. If you're over 30% body fat, lose some weight first. Big baller game is not really for you yet. You haven't earned it. There's no excuse as a man. Look, I guess 20% is like the upper limits. If you have a lot of muscle mass, I guess you could, do pretty well as a guy, but aim for like 15 or sub 15% body fat. Don't spend a dime on these hoes until you did a video call with them. Big thing. Okay, if you can't understand what good, genuine chemistry feels like, and again, when you do the video call, there probably hasn't even been any mention of money yet, or maybe there was a mention of like, send you some money for a dress, send you some money to get your hair done, send you some money to get your nails done, whatever it is. And then if you can't get a girl on a video call and tell if she's like actually interested in you or just intrigued because she thinks, like money is coming her way, then again, you're not ready for big baller game, okay? If you can't walk up and cold approach women with at least some level of competency. Now I understand the US, okay, walking up to 7.5s and above, really difficult. And anywhere in the world, it's really difficult. Cold approach, people are just less friendly. They're less open to it. They're more like, in their phones, addicted to social media. Cold approach, if you have the swagger and also is like, look, most of you guys watching this, if you're this far into the video now, you're probably intrigued. You probably have a high net worth. You're probably a busy professional or entrepreneur. We don't have time to really go out and get into state, get in like a loose, flowy like mood, a social mood. Because I don't care who you are, even me at my level, when I go talk to the first couple of girls, I'm awkward. I'm in like, you can't see it, but there's my desk over there. I'm like, working on solving problems, trying to hire new, assistants who are sucking ass, and I'm like frustrated, as if I'm just going to walk out of my house when I'm like in like a worky and just be like in like a work mode and then just like, oh, be like this big social guy. Okay. But you have to at least have some level of confidence. You have to know when you're talking to a girl on a video call, if she's like actually interested in you, if she's actually, you know, have good chemistry, if you know, you're making jokes, she's laughing at your jokes, you guys are connecting. Like I said, if you don't at least have some ability to walk up and be charming to women, if you can't close the majority of your dates, if you know that your social skills are lacking, if you know that you're overweight or have, you know, other problems related to swagger, charisma, and just attracting women in general, then you're not ready for big baller game. You will be absolutely eaten alive. Okay. This isn't about simping. This is about big baller mentality. This is about showing women that if they play their cards right, in the future, there is a chance for them to be taken care of. I was talking to my friend Paul the German about how, let's say, 80–90% of women and beautiful women in most dating markets are prostitutes. And Paul, you know, he's this kind of like dorky German guy. He's going to see this. Paul, you're a dork. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Paul will be like, so he has like this like German accent, but it's not like a traditional German accent. It's like a different German accent. He'll be like, so how do you know that they are all prostitutes? How do you know this, Casey? How do you know that the girls are prostitutes? I'm like, Paul, because do the math, bro. Like, she's beautiful. She has an iPhone. She's a secretary. An iPhone is 60% more expensive in Latin America, especially in Brazil, than it is anywhere else in the world. She's also been to Dubai, France, and Cancun and Tulum on her stories, yet she's a 21-year-old secretary and she also has an iPhone. He's like, oh, I guess it's just math, bro. But we're not telling you to be one of those guys. Don't go for sexual tourism. Don't simp. Don't spend any money on women that you don't already have some attraction with, right? If they're not willing to get on a video call with you, if you haven't already been flirting, again, don't go to seeking arrangement, guys. This is about finding women that are just normal women. And look, my line just alone of like, hey, I'm looking for something long-term. You ain't got to worry about money. You know, if you have a passport, we can just kind of like travel the world and stuff together. But I just want a feminine girl who's not going to give me headaches, da-da-da-da. And then heaven forbid later on, if I'm kind of getting like, you know, she's being the, you know, the slippery fish that keeps wiggling through the net. Yes. Maybe I'll go take her to a more elaborate restaurant than I would have, you know, wanted to. Maybe I'll offer to, you know, meet her at the mall and buy her a bikini. Maybe I'll offer to pay her $50 to do an interview with me, which, by the way, I probably get a 10x or 20x ROI minimum off that video. So me spending $50 to do a vlog or make a piece of content with a girl that I know 85 to 90% of them are just going to want to, you know, hop on my dick right after anyways. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing to a boss. If this type of video offended you, or you thought it was simping, or you didn't read past the title and you actually think I'm spending money on women directly as a way to try to create attraction like a simp, rather than just using it as an anti-flaking tool, rather than an attraction tool, you're a brokey. You weren't in my target demographic anyway. And I feel sorry for you and I feel sorry for your penis. So that's Big Baller Game. And if you like this video, subscribe for more free game and then click the video description if you want to know how you can work with me to build your automated system and run your dating life just like you run your business, delegation, operations, systems, and outsourcing. That's it, boys. Cheers.